Hello, fellow fantasy gamers, and welcome back to my channel. Matchday 7 in the Italian Serie A is over, and it is now time to check what happened in the games this weekend. But before we start, don't forget to give the video a thumb up and hit the like button. That way you will help the channel to get more and more exposure. And of course subscribe if you didn't yet, share the episodes with your friends so our family can grow. I am thankful to those who subscribed and to those who watched the videos. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. I would love to read them. And now, let's point out the important things in each game of the latest round in Serie A. These three guys had weekend to remember. Martinez and Orsolini scored hat-trick and Gudmundsson scored 2 goals. If we look at the results, you can see that only in one game we have both teams to score, so every team got points for clean sheets, except for Udinese, but at least they scored this time. Everything started in Friday with 3 matches. In the first one, Napoli came back to winning by destroying Lecce with 4-0. The red and yellow team were undefeated before losing to Juventus and Napoli in the matter of days. Milan won their match against Lazio with 2-0, and I have to say that Rafael Leo made 2 assists, gaining 8 points for his fantasy managers. In the late game, Inter won away to Salernitana with 4-0 thanks to the super sub, Martinez. He came in the 55th minute and scored all the goals and collected 23 points. The show didn't stop there. In the afternoon of Saturday, we witnessed another hat-trick. This time Orsolini helped Bologna defeat the struggling Empoli. And after that we saw the only match where both teams scored. Udinese and Genoa ended up in 2-2 draw, and Gudmundsson scored both goals for Genoa, collecting 17 points for the fantasy game. The next match was the first goalless game in this round. Atalanta and Juventus settled for a draw and were happy not to lose. There were few chances in this game and nobody did something to remember, but all the defenders gained good points for clean sheets. In the late game, Roma stopped the progress of Frosinone and got important victory. Dybala made 2 assists, just like Rafael Leo. Monza defeated Sassuolo with 1-0 away, and ended the good run of victories for the Nero Verdi. Sassuolo couldn't get anything from Monza after defeating Juventus and Inter in the last 7 days. The second goalless match was between Torino and Verona, and again nothing special happened except that the defenders gained good points. And in the last game, Fiorentina won over Cagliari with the classic 3-0. Nico Gonzalez scored another goal, collecting 10 points in the fantasy manager. The dream team for this round gained a total of 157 points, and I think this is the biggest amount I have seen in the last 2 years. In our private league, Chimalbi is the leader with 599 points, and my team dropped to 10th position, 52 points behind the first spot. Our league is growing and we are now 28 managers. Thank you and welcome Nikola Ratkovic and Barko Zoko. In the second half of the table we can clearly see the levels of managers in the league. The distance between each of them is 10 or more points and is growing further down the rankings, reaching the last place, occupied by Salim, who is 217 points behind Chimalbi at the top. And speaking about him, our leader scored 110 points this round, mainly because he chose the wrong captain. But still, everybody in his team contributed with good scores. Ratkovic joined our league this weekend and immediately settled in the second place. This time his midfielders didn't help that much with the total score, but still he managed to collect 95 points. Borcagno is one of the top scorers in this round with 119 points, thanks to the right choice of captaining Martinez. He has a good squad and will be a threat going forward. G-Boy comes 1 point short of 100. He doesn't have Lautaro in his squad, but Osimhen and Thuram did a pretty good job. The third best score for this round in our league is Saif. His team scored 118 points, again thanks to the captain of Inter. Even with Casso in his starting 11, Saif collected that many points. Eldar comes next in the 6th position. He chose Di Lorenzo as captain, which brought him 18 points. 3 defenders and the goalkeeper scored 10 points each, covering the 0 points from Gendry. On the other side, Mazen's defense didn't perform that good. Oyano scored 1 point and Turati scored 2 points this round, but still his team's effort gained 103 points. Adrian Benino comes next and will have to change something in his defense. Amy hasn't played yet this season, while Obert is playing at Cagliari, which is not in a good place. Everything else in this team looks very well. Khalil is another manager who successfully jumped the 100 points barrier, and he did it without Martinez. In my opinion, this is a very solid squad, and this round they proved me right. And we arrive in the 10th place, where you can see my team. Everything started pretty well for me in Friday and even in the early game of Saturday. Despite the fact that Xerxes didn't get any contribution to the 3-0 victory, I was happy with the points of my players. And after that, Samardzic was benched and entered late to collect just 2 points, but the biggest fail for me was the captain, Christensen. Same thing happened and the Roma player scored just 2 points for me. Bonaventura failed for second round in my squad, just like last season. I will think about the wildcard in the next few days. Just behind me is Asim with a total of 540 points, good points from the defenders, mid-level points from the midfielders and very good points from the strikers, but wrong captain. In the 12th place, Ask made maybe the most wrong choice for a captain. Bonaventura failed not only me, but Ask as well. Duda and Kolpani didn't help that much either. Juve Azzurri have a good squad and maintaining almost the same position in the rankings. He has few players to think over before the start of the next round. Hadji has a good squad as well, and he managed to score 110 points in this round. Duncan from Fiorentina didn't gain that much points like the previous rounds. John Bonino's team is continuing to drop even further down the rankings. Only Osman scored or assisted this round in his team, and all the other players underperform. The new manager in our league, Barko Zoko, is at the 16th place. He has a solid squad with Kvicha and Osman, plus Thuram, Pulisic and Danilo. This team will be dangerous for this season. Flora's team scored 95 points, and everybody performed very well, except Awar, who came back from injury, but scored just 1 point. Maybe she has to sell him and find a better solution for the goalkeeper position. I believe Silvestri will suffer because the bad form of Udinese. Nika's team made the most points this round in our league. He collected 120 points, mostly thanks to Martinez, but Ostigard from Napoli helped with another 16. In the 19th position we can find Muhane's team. 5 players from his squad collected just 11 points, and Falcone scored 0 points at the goal. Serie has 94 in this round, and this is the best score so far in the season for this team, but still 98 points behind the first place. There are a lot of players which you can sell and find better in their place. Lando Norris continues to sink down the table, despite the 85 points this round. That is just the second time so far this season that this team is collecting more than 80 points. He has good players in his squad, but still can change few names. In the 22nd position is the team of Nikola Stoyanowski. I would change Pinamonti, Duda, Anderson and Docina. I am sure you can find better replacements for them. The blue team of Frederick is starting to gain a little bit of red dye. A bit of bad luck is that 2 players didn't participate. Collecting 69 points with just 9 players is a good result, but still the decision to play only with blue shirts failed his team. Abdel Rahim's team scored just 68 points, but I think this squad can do better. As I have said, I would change Obert for sure, but in this team you have Vlahovic and Armqvist who are starters, and Obert is filler for Abdel Rahim. In the 25th place comes Safwan, one of the original managers in the league. His defenders did well, but the keeper was destroyed, and Kostic and Chukwueze collected just 3 points. Ishola's Freeman is 26th, and my advice for him is to sell Weah as soon as possible, and adding to transfers Coppola, Arthur and Kolpani to raise more money and find better replacements. Maurizio dropped to the last places, and I think he quit the game. On the other hand, Salim at the last spot is still trying, but the deficit is too big to overtake in one round. I hope he climb up the rankings. And that was all for this round. Another game week full of interesting results, a lot of goals, and a lot of points in the fantasy game. Make sure you hit the like button and drop a comment below. Please subscribe to the channel to stay informed for new videos in the future. I will be looking forward to see you again here in Friday for the next round. The last round before the international break. Take care and God bless.